moments. You know, that's a thought. You know me, we're going to pull those thoughts out. We're going to pull those ideas. So this unique moment is the moment that we get to share. Some people call it Easter Sunday. Some people call it Resurrection Sunday. But the theme of today's celebration is that he arose. He arose. When I was a little girl, I used to have to sing that song all the time. He arose, he arose, he arose from the dead. Yeah. Some of us know grandma, ma, pop made us sit down and sit there and listen to the story of Jesus Christ that lived, died, and rose again so that we would all be able to have a personal experience with the Father, Abba Father, God. Yes. So I think it's especially honorable. And so because of that, I've gathered some unique pieces. I've also have some other special moments that I want us to share. And I'm really excited about today. So if you've stopped and come in and taken time out of your day to hear us and to participate in our moment today, then you need to clap for yourself. Because just because you're here, this makes this moment special, right? Absolutely. Okay, so one thing I want us to talk about today, we're going to browse through a little bit, but one of the things I want us to talk about today is how we treat our bodies. And I have a little bit of browsing information on that. And also, I have some specific moments that I want to share about painting. So this is a painting moment. You know what's so funny about this? So funny about our painting moment, so funny about our minute, is that this painting has come from a created scramble of what's going on in our life and in our world, our private life and our corporate life, our public life. And so one of the things that I want us to pay attention to with this is what I call a painting in the making. And it's actually about the moments and highways and trafficking of expressions once all of us are together. So if you had to talk about a moment and trafficking and expression and seeing how it is when we all mesh together, would it look like this? Hope so. So we are going to talk about the layers that's within this painting. I'm purposely waiting to the end to give you the name. So this is about us connecting together. All of us are meshing together. If we did a close-up, you would see more of the lines here that penetrate. Also, this is the movements of people. You see this? This represents the movement of people. I love it because it starts out plain as we do, and then it builds up to an erratic path. Then you have the colors, you know I do red guys. You have this red outline that's coming in, trying to actually push and to cause some kind of formation. A lot of times in life, that's how it is. We seem to be interacting, but not properly connecting. There's beauty in this design, but the disorientation throws everything off. It takes it aloof. It makes it whack. One thing about this painting is you'll see colors that represent peace in everyday process. A lot of people see white as that plain peace and purity, right? And then the off pale. I mean, even on Easter Sunday, you can see the fabric of all of this being put together, right? The layers of the community. the layers of people that are represented, the layers of traffic that's represented. You have pieces of yellow, okay? You have a deep dark red to cause a lot of different imprints. Now, with this piece, guys, I wanted to show you it as it was being finalized and birthed out, right? So this is about 2 or 3 layers of different designs being meshed together. And those of us that know, I've done this before, I'll show you it being this kind of being birthed out, right? And then we'll come back and give you that final orientation. But the essence of this is the movements of people conversing, the trafficking of us connecting, right? The different types of orientations that we represent in our everyday life. Some of us are darker, some of us are lighter. Some of us have choppy ways of doing things. Other of us have hidden patterns, right? Unique patterns. In this bundle and kind of straight maze, if I can call it, straight maze of things, there is a collide with collaboration. But anytime you have a lot of different people coming from different areas and different walks of life, if you have all of the people talking and walking and expressing and sharing, but there's no formation, there's no order, disorder, dysfunction, not functional. When you see that, sooner or later, there's going to be a collide. This collision is this little piece right here. And that collision is representing, simply put, it's representing the peace and hope and joy that we can experience when we connect. But if you look at all of this, it's got to be coming towards an end somewhere. It's got to line up. It's got to have, it's not enough to just have pretty colors, right? It's not enough that the woman has a pretty smile. It's not enough that the man is well built, right? It's not enough, right? There's something deeper inside that you need to experience, something deeper inside that you need to feel, something deeper inside that you need to see to kind of seal the deal, to kind of make you understand that there's more to this person, relationship, interaction. And even if it's on the business level, intimate level, right, there's a depth that we've got to connect to, right? And so this, believe it or not, is called Get Out. Because after all, the way this is, if we act like this and have patterns of pretty colors and pretty collaborations, but no connection and no true direction, right? We're not going to get what we're supposed to get out of our interactions. Somebody's got to be a leader, right? Somebody's got to stand out. Somebody's got to step up. Even in the room of 10 bosses, there's got to be a boss of the 10 bosses, right? It's a form of order. We all need it. This is disorder. So no, I didn't call it disorder because it's not going to stay like this, right? This is 2 rows, right? It's going to end up with all of these patterns together, coming together and forming one main concrete design. And we're still going to see the layers and the colors, but we'll still see a formation, some kind of design, some kind of direction. And you know what's funny about that? Why in the world then is it called Get Out? Because even though a lot of things look pretty here, If we took something to block certain things off, right? If we took something to block areas off, am I telling you what's missing? If we did something like that, we would see a whole different look and find an order in this pattern of disorder. Find an order where this looks disordered. And how do we do that? We kick out, yeah, I'm a little dramatic, right? We kick out the things that's distorting the overall vision, the overall connection, the overall need of unification, right? And so I call it get out. By the time I finish, you will see clearly that something is being pushed out. So something better is being pulled in, right? It's called get out. Get out. Not saying a price. Nope. It's got to be finished first. You know, it's like meeting somebody and browsing, talking for the first time. And then out of all that, you start to realize that the value and the worth of what you thought the engagement was or what you thought the connection was isn't the same, right? It absolutely changes. It changes. So our theme today is unusual miracles. Can we say that together? Unusual miracles. One thing about me, you'll see often that I'm pushing that. I'm pushing the envelope when it comes to talking about miracles or unusual things. And this is unusual miracles. Okay. So we are going to leave get out. And we're going to show you that even though today's main theme is unusual miracles, we are going to go into what we call one of my favorites, Yuri. Upside down miracles. Okay, so I have so much going on in this particular painting. I love it. Most people that have seen this painting, and when I originally started showing it, you know, I wouldn't sell it. It's been sitting here because I wouldn't sell it because I wanted it to have a certain lifeline. I wanted it to have a certain touch about it. I wanted it to have a certain ethic, a certain dialogue, okay? And so I couldn't do it without it being able to be expressed and seen the way I really wanted it to be seen. A lot of my paintings sometimes can seem a little complicated. Thank you. Thank you for the close-up because we need it and we appreciate it. Yes, yes, yes. So with this particular painting, this is called Upside Down Miracles. I actually put the two top lines here to kind of give it a look of stability, continuity, kind of, it kind of gives you a place to start looking at. Because if you go through this, you could get a little disoriented, really, because it is based on the walks that we travel in life. And if you look at this, you'll see that these are passageways, okay? A lot of this, and if you were touching it, you would feel the, some people know I love to touch stuff like this. But you would feel the design that's connected to this, okay? You would feel the bumpiness of it with some smooth lines, right? But this at the bottom are the different patterns that's broken up, okay? You can almost see like a little river pool, a little riverbed right here at the bottom, okay? You'll always see the little formations. And I think when people look at it, they try to figure it out like, oh, I wonder what this is. And they kind of know what it is, but they're not connecting it because they don't want to say it. And maybe they're not used to it. But yeah, they're TPs throughout this thing. There are TPs throughout here. And this represents just the different cultures of our life, okay? Different cultures that we create in our life when we're first starting, okay? If you look at it this way, you'll be able to see the pattern clearly. It's clearly that the TPs are up. This is clearly. The TPs, again, represent culture, different cultures. I didn't want to just use any average culture. The lines, the way they've been created and the colors that go within it, okay, they represent another type of culture, okay. I actually got involved with looking at some of the Mexican fabric and the outline and lining is. So I wanted to have another type of Spanish type of culture in here, okay. And these are just representing these pathways. It's like when you go across the street and you're looking at the light, okay, you're seeing the signal light, you stop and you go from one store or one roadway or one highway or one walkway to another. If you look at this, you'll see each level stops and then bleeds into kind of the other, right? And so what this is showing is that as we engage each other, experience each other, because even though each culture has its own line and has its own stopping point, right? It still bleeds into the next. If you look in here, you can even see like as if it's an Indian fabric, a person standing, right? I think you can see so many things in this thing. But it goes on, and then you still see that Mexican fabric. You still see the culture that can be interweaved into that, okay? And these cultures and in these experiences, that's when things change and we find ourselves having a line of miracles. See that? Do you see that no matter what goes on as we engage, unlike Get Out, as we engage, we find lines of miracles. And the miracles are always connected in to the stuff that's going on. But the good thing in this is if you will take your time and look, the good thing in this is that this is the line of change. This is the line where the miracles are going to be more detailed. A woman's pregnant, that's one detail. But the day she births that baby and put that little baby in her hand, then you see the realism of the living birth of that child, the experience of the miracle, okay? Right here, you'll see that this portion represents like a portion of a building, just a small piece, building bricks, a building. But you'll see that it's disoriented, okay? It's like the bottom is at the top and the top of this is at the bottom. In a lot of these other ones, as you go up, you'll see that it looks a little off and you don't know why, because right around here is when everything turns upside down. And I call it upside down miracles because anybody that has had a true miracle, it is out of control. It turns your world upside down. And a lot of times when you're getting ready to experience something you never experienced before, that's when everything goes out of control. It's like you're supposed to make a right, and instead you're making a U-turn. You're trying to go a straight path, and instead you see a crooked path. So with this design here, with this, you'll see that it doesn't look quite right or it's quite wholesome until you turn it upside down. Then you can see the actual frame of the building, where it's laying. And you can even see a little beam supporting some of the rims. You can see the true square of the building. I'm just telling too much. But it makes more sense upside down. On purpose, yes, on purpose. This painting can keep you throughout so many segments of your life. Most of the painting I've done with this is I've broken it up in quarters, squares, and each square, excuse me, has its own living design. It touches us in ways we couldn't fathom. This is Upside Down Miracles. This is a place of change. You got to ask yourself, are you ready for change? Okay, you know we have our special moment, and you know we have our positive moment that we just pull in. So we are not going to even go there yet. So welcome to Upside Down Miracles. This painting is actually $100. It has been dedicated with thought and intention and little surprises along the way, because no matter what I pull out or show you in this one painting, you will find your own personal walks. I've seen people look at this and say, I can see something about me in this painting. And that's when I know the work that we've done is real. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Most of the time, I tell people, if you do this right now, you get a discount. So for Upside Down Miracles, if you do this within the time frame, within our hour time frame, we're taking off $25, and we will actually sell this for $75. So what you want to do is you want to either call 518-867-0164, or you want to scan our QR code right there, right? And it'll take you right to the form. Or you can go directly to destiny-assignment.com. Okay. And we kind of didn't go too much into why we call this Destiny Assignments Art Gallery, why we say destiny-assignment.com. We don't say what it's really about. And so we're going to do that more and more. We're going to actually start talking about what it's about. Okay? All right. Here we go. Upside Down Miracles. Enjoy the experience. $75. Great sale. All right. Okay. So I have a weird kind of unique painting. This one is definitely my type of weird. Okay. So there are so many things that are wrapped into this particular one. Okay. I thought of, when I named this, I said, I'm going to name this a personal name, like, Tom, Miguel, Miguel, Patrick, just give it a name, connect it to someone. Okay. But this one, I couldn't give it a name based on a person or a man, because the theme of this is not about a person or a man. The theme of this is the man finding out where he can come to for help. There are dark penetrating lines all through here. You'll see light green, red, maroon, a beige imprint. green lines. But all of this is representing going over this man, covering this man, because at this point in time, he is in pain. Okay, he's hurting. And so we call this the veil. We could be on this all day when we talk about the veil, the veil, the veil, the veil. Okay, so the veil is not quite what we're looking for in the veil. In the veil, we're not looking at the detail as much. Okay, the veil, we want you to see the whole outside of this particular veil, this particular outline. He has come to a place where he's angry, he's hurt, he's discontented, he's frustrated. And just to that angle, you just have to see one piece of this to understand. And then you see little brick by bricks right directly under his chin, those little imprints, that little design that's saying in the midst of him building his world, his empire. So this man is not just any man. He's a successful man. He's actually going after routine. He's actually doing something, right? He's actually going after the design, okay? So this man is a special man, okay? And he is actually going after what he's looking for in life. And he's pretty successful on it. His chin is sitting on the top of the world for a reason, right? Top of that building, that little brick imprint, a little discolored, a little dark, kind of not that light. It represents him. A lot of times when we're building things, we don't understand how much it represents us. And he needs help. And out of torment, out of tiredness, out of anger, out of frustration, he is reaching out for what we call the veil. And those of us that know a little bit about it, we know that there is a holy veil, there is a shroud, there is a secret place. And this man has found his secret place. And a lot of times we're looking for the secret place to look like God Almighty, so we never enter it. It's like we're distant because we never get to enter that place where there is no secrecy, right? We never get to enter that place, right? And so here, right now, he has found that place of secrecy in the midst of anger, frustration, trying to build his empire, trying to find his way. He's turned over, he's turned to the side. He's not showing his full face. He's showing the part of him that just can't be hid. Have you ever had a business partner? Have you ever had somebody that you're working with that you depend on to be successful in what you're trying to build? And you know that they have issues, hidden issues, problems, right? But they're building something that's substantial. Or are you working for a business and you're uncomfortable about management and higher management, right? Because you feel they're not people of excellence. They cut corners. They don't treat you right, or they're not honoring some of the things you expected when you took this job, right? And you can see that they need some inner peace, inner healing. They need to resolve some issues without saying anything. But their demeanor, the way they carry out business, the expectation of how you carry out business, all of this you can see in a couple of moments, couple minutes, couple days, couple of years, right? And you're kind of caught in the middle of somebody that is empowered to sign off on your check, but they're inadequate for the position that they're carrying just because of their personal issues. And so you'll see colors throughout here that represent personal issues, that represent pain, that represent shame, right? That's why it's not quite white. It's an off center of dark, light, dark, light. You have little specks of light around his eyes, right? Because the day that our eyes go dark, we can't see anything, right? When our vision is impaired, right? It stops us, it hinders us from going forward. So in this moment, he's found a place to hide. But you notice he's not broken yet. He's just found the veil. He's just found that secret place. He's just found that go to God moment. But he's at least found a place where he's looking for hope. It changes the design. It changes where he is. It changes how he sees. And today we didn't just pick a blank culture, right? This is an African American culture design. This is a man of African descent choosing to find a place behind the veil. Isn't it funny? You can go to church or you can have a church experience or a God experience and you share that and somebody will judge it because they don't think it's the way it should look. That's not how you do it. That's not how you work with God. Or better yet, you're not really that God kind of person. It's not going to work for you. They may not even be participating in anything with God, but they'll take that moment to tell you, nah, that's not right. That's not going to work. Right? Somehow he took his moment. He found a place behind the veil. He may not be crying the way others may think. He may not look broken enough the way others may say, but isn't it great? You're not God. I'm not God. He took his moment and he's sitting behind the veil. And as long as he chooses to give God the opportunity to speak to him in a secret place, in a private moment, no matter what the judgments are about this man, he's still behind the veil. And he can't be touched by people's thoughts, intimidations, attitudes, or personal viewpoints, because he's having this moment with God. All right. You know me, after a while, we can really go into it. But today, we want you to think of this as a miracle moment. Some women, some relationships, some child that's looking at a father that's always coming home raging and upset and angry and frustrated, they would consider their dad going and having a God moment, maybe a little miracle, maybe an upside down miracle. That's from the other painting. This is called the veil, nothing more. Doesn't mention the man because it does not matter who chooses to get God or who chooses to be connected. Now, I'm not giving it a name for a person or a gender or sex. I'm just saying this is the veil. All right, guys. Yay. All right. Better be yay. All right. I don't want us to be distracted, so I'm not putting anything else up here for this moment. I have what we call a positive moment. Yes. We love our positive moments because they're not connected to what we do or what we say. They're connected to how we feel about things. No, they are connected to different truths that we can run into, that we look for throughout this week so that at the end of the week, we can give out and have a minute of conversation so we can talk about the positive moment that we have in life. So, our theme for our little conversation today is about LOVE, love. Okay, so I've kind of been there before. I've been there talking about love. I've been there talking about, our interactions when it comes to love. But this is a different type of love I want to talk about today. Everybody say, come on, y'all can do it. Say it with me. Self-love. Well, what does self-love have to do with your miracle moment you want to have, talking about the miracles. So, what does love have to do with miracles? What does love have to do with miracles? Well, love has a lot to do with miracles. Why? Because if you don't really love yourself the way you need to love yourself, you'll miss moments that are connected with yourself, as far as open doors, as far as walking in a different aspect of life, as far as taking a chance. Because if you're not loving yourself, a lot of times you're not willing to take the risk that you need. Or worse, you're not seeing yourself for the true person you are or can be. There are times in our life where we have to take on a scripture. It's a simple scripture, good adage, great thought. Physician, heal thyself. It's a point in the Bible where wisdom spoke and said, physician, heal yourself. So when it comes to loving yourself and really loving yourself, then you'll always be at the point where you give yourself a chance to be whole, to be healed, to express and experience different and new things. Physician, heal thyself. Let me give you something as an example. You know I love to do this. So when we are going through life and we're choosing friendships, long-term relationships, jobs, careers, okay, all of that blends ourselves. All of that makes us interact with different parts of who we are, ourselves, right? So if you are not connected to yourself, if you have not forgiven yourself, it hinders you accepting things and experiencing things that will make you better. That will make you better mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, right? There's a block. I talk to women and they've got themselves together on the outside. Their hair is all buffed. I talk to men, strong, determined, functional men, great men in their own rank, right? The men that have their own dreams, own designs, all ideologies, all things that they expect to happen in their life. They're willing to fight for it. Some willing to die for it, even on the wrong side. They could be doing something wrong, but they're willing to die for that wrong because they want to make an impression, leave a mark on life. But if the mark you're trying to leave is not connected to who you really are, your true self, wait for it, gonna say it. The reason why God allowed you, or the reason why you're here right now on a Resurrection Sunday, right? That we push to be an Easter Sunday. Call it what you want. It was designed to honor Jesus, who knew himself so well that he was able to lay down his whole life for every person in the world, good, bad, or indifferent. How can you really fight for a dream or a vision when you're discontented with who you are? When you change things, fix things, try to work things to make an impression or to change who you are. I'm speaking to you today in this really brief, quick, positive moment. It's time to embrace you. I was definitely a person that did not connect with themselves. And I knew it because everything that I was attached to was pulling from me, taking from me, shredding me, changing me, altering me until I got lost in everybody else's dream, right? And that's one of the reasons why I believe God gave me the name of Destiny Assignment. So those that are maybe the first viewers, you're a new viewer, somebody yanked you in and said, listen to this for an hour, see what goes on here. It's more than just the art, it's in between the art. When I first started and I got the name Destiny Assignment, it was when I got a word for somebody and I prayed for them and they were like, well, where's your building and what can you do? And they wanted someone to speak into their life, to speak life into their life. And I just said, everybody has a destiny. Everybody has an assignment, right? You were born for something. And when I looked at that man, it was a couple, or actually happened to be a Spanish couple, a man and a woman, and she had just lost her baby and she was hurting. And so I got that moment where I could get a chance to speak into their lives. And I said, you're born for destiny. You have a destiny and you need to be on assignment. And then from there, it grew to be a training center. Well, we're new and baby kind of, but we're standing on our own ground. 2 years strong, Destiny Assignment Training Center. And so that's why we come up here and we're doing Destiny Assignment Art Gallery because it's in our training center. It's built in. It's me using my gift so that I can provoke you to use your gift, but not haphazardly, not like you're throwing a dice or you're trying to have good luck. Fingers crossed. You don't need a finger crossed moment. You need self-love. Enough self-love to challenge yourself to be better, enough self-love to look into yourself, enough self-love to love yourself, enough to get educated, to find out what gifts and talents are hidden in you. Just the veil, the one before this last art piece with a man discontented, right? You need self-love. And self-love is not what you say, it's what you do. I'm provoking you in this positive moment to try your destiny. I just threw these cards. I got all these little cards over here, and I kind of threw them down to say, "Oh, destiny assignment," you know. And but we're more than a card. I am the CEO of Destiny Assignment. Wow, great, all right. But it's not all right unless I'm willing to put myself out here. And that's where I am right now. I'm putting myself out here because I know I'm connecting to the people that are tired of being ordinary, tired of being normal, tired of being great at something that doesn't even connect with their soul. And deep down inside, you're going through the motions, but you're stuck because you know you were born for more than this. And just in case you wondered, God loves you and he wants you to love on you and know you. He wants you to take chances with yourself, your person, your destiny to expand, to be great, to make a difference in this world. But to do that, you got to care enough to start loving on you. If you're hurting inside, if there are things going on, if you're making 6 figures and you know you're lost, welcome to the world of needing to find your destiny. You're not going to stumble in it. You have to love yourself enough to find out what has been holding me back and what I need to change to be great, because you were born to be great. And nobody can take that from you unless you decide to walk away. Okay. You know, those that know me, this is what we do, right? All day and all night. So I kind of skipped around today. I wanted to push the love and I wanted to push about self-love. I also wanted to push about, you know, Jesus loving us and that we can bow our heads right now, even at this moment, and just ask him go behind the veil right now and just like, Lord, I love you. I need you. We can do that, right? Forgive me of my sins. Wash me, cleanse me. Show me who I really am. If you got any questions about that, 518-867-0164. Okay, so we can't leave without doing one of the other things that we usually fit in. We kind of elongated some of the art pieces because we wanted you to pull into it. So this is also a service we offer. It's $30. I do prophetic poetry or prophetic song. So I'm going to do a quick poem to send us out today. And since we were talking about self-love, I'm looking for somebody to text me, call me. Just, you only got a couple seconds now, and come up with something about love that we can do a poem on so that we can end with this on Resurrection Sunday. Resurrection Sunday. All right. Anybody. We have a couple great people in the audience, but we don't have a call in right this second.
Let's Easter Sunday. I say it's a song called Ready for Love. So what about Ready for Love?
Oh, Ready for Love. See, she's trying to trick me because I'm talking about self-love, right? And she put out Ready for Love. That's Miss Charmaine guy. And she put out Ready for Love. So we have to blend that. I'm blended between what I was and what I now am going to be. But I can't see the new person that's arising in me. But I'm determined not to be frustrated. I'm determined not to fall. I'm determined not to give up. I'm determined to stand in the things that I know and the things that I've won and the things that I've learned. I'm determined to earn my place, not for your sake, not for mom, not for dad, not for man, not for woman, but for the love of me. There were times when I had closed doors. There were times when the mirror had to crack. There were times when I stood all by myself and laid back. There was times when I allowed people to walk over me. There was times that I lied and I had my own denial as a way to seem like I was actually free. But at the end of the moment, within the second of the minute, I had to come to the place that no matter what I do or where I go, I still carry the same purpose at heart. I still wear the same face. So I decided disgrace won't hold me. I decided a person will not control me. I decided that I must love me. And at that very moment, I was ready for love. I've been ready for love, ready to embrace it. There'll be no baggage with me. There'll just be newness as I walk to my true destiny. I decided at that very moment, I will not fold. I will not buckle. I will not stop until all that I'm supposed to be is standing in front of a stage, big, small, tall, or little. One thing I know is that I've paid the price to be ready for love. And I've readied myself for loving me and giving you a chance to share it with me. Ready for love. That all right? Okay. Thank you. All right, I think I have a call real quick. Yell in. What?
Unconditional love.
Okay, so next week I will be doing Unconditional Love, dedicated to Pastor Shirley Burgess. Unconditional Love. Come back, hear it, see our art right here at Destiny Assignments Art Gallery